What's up, guys, and welcome back to Sega Week here on youtube.com/Improv Gaming. As usual, guys, I'm the biggest Zelda fan in the world, Jeremy Bird. You don't believe me? There's a tattoo of the Triforce right on my right arm. As usual, Zelda fan in the world coming at you once again. To my far right, I have the best ponytail in the business.
It's fabulous.
Mr. Nicholas.
How's it going tonight, everybody?
I swear to God, this is a new conditioner.
We do this every week.
Yeah, this one actually.
Yeah, I can feel like your hair is much softer than usual.
Is it softer?
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't use any conditioner at all. I have this this thing. It was discontinued. It's called Garnier Fructis. It's like Miracle Gel or something like that, or whatever it is, and it's like 5 pumps, and it's about this big of a bottle, and it fucking does wonders for my hair.
Anyway.
Thank you.
You're
and
welcome.
To my right, we have the only man who gives a shit about Nick's conditioner.
Mister, I'm wondering what conditioner Nick is wearing.
There you go.
There's a new one. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Boys and girls. Children of all ages.
So, before we start talking about the downfall of Sega, my thing is, do you guys know of the Sega Master System?
Mm-hmm.
Sega Master System, okay?
Yep. Did you know that the Sega Master System came out 2 days after the NES was released and got completely overshadowed? How do you like them apples? What are your thoughts?
Really?
Came out October 18th, the NES got released in 1985. October 20th, the Master System came out and just got shit shoved.
Wow.
Now, what was the launch title for the Master System?
I didn't get that far.
Because I know it wasn't Sonic.
No, Sonic was the Genesis.
Sonic was
Obviously.
the Genesis. Yeah, Sonic
So
was the Genesis.
that's why it lost. You had Mario being this platformer that was released with the NES.
Well, that was the issue, was that Sega, I think, in their first try, didn't have a
IP to stand by.
a showman to showcase. Showcase. You know, PlayStation when it first came out had Crash. When Nintendo came out, it had Mario. Well, it had Donkey Kong.
Genesis originally had Alex Kidd, who was it was their original launch title for the Genesis.
Was it? You see, but everybody always associates Sonic with Genesis.
Well, what they do is they did Alex Kidd, and then they decided, oh well, then the system isn't selling that well. We have to really pull him in, so they created Sonic and packaged Sonic with the Genesis. That's how they started taking off. But Master System, I know it's got a couple of good titles, but it has a lot of obscure ones too.
Yeah. Well,
That sucks, guys. You rough start out the gate.
That's what happens though. Whenever you don't really have a plan of action when trying to go into a new market.
Yep, and it was right after the video game crash, so rebuilding it.
I remember on the Wii, though, if you go to Virtual Console, like, you just see the Master System there.
Yeah.
And it's like 36 games. Yet Nintendo, like, classic NES is like 144. And you're like, well, that's not surprising.
Nah, NES is a lot more than 144, I can tell you that much.
Well, this was
Virtual
a
Console.
couple back.
Okay.
But
Yeah, but we're talking about... Okay, since Sega started out rough, it's going to get even rougher. We're talking about the downfall of it.
The downfall.
Oh, man, like I said in last episode, guys, it was... I still say the PlayStation is what killed it. With the Dreamcast.
I think it was a combination, right? First you had what I said before, which was internally they made a couple of decisions that might have not been best business practices. It's probably good fan service, but not necessarily best business practices.
It wasn't originally a fan service. It was... They literally said just throw them on CDs and get them out there, and that's how we can mass produce the games really fast.
Yeah, but
which you can't lock. Which that's why you said
PlayStation had the same thing. You have CDs. PlayStation had the same thing, but you couldn't put any CD into a PlayStation.
No, it's because like a PlayStation disc is all encoded and stuff, so you can't hack it or like copy it. Dreamcast was just regular discs with no coding on it or anything.
Some dude in a basement running like a couple of computers burning discs.
Yep.
So that wasn't the right way to go about it.
That's how you get the pirated games, and that's how people were getting them. So
yeah, everybody was getting all the games for free practically, you know.
not paying the retail for it. And
I could
back then, the games were really expensive.
yeah,
And that was if they even bought the console. When you had you know the Super Nintendo or the N64.
Yep.
You had the N64, the PlayStation 2 to compete with. Did anybody even buy your console? I thought it was a very strong console. I thought that it could have done some really good justice, but I think the business practices were really what set it in the bad direction, in a downward spiral. And then you add the killing blow of PlayStation 2 being a DVD player, and you have no competition.
and it sucks because the Dreamcast actually had internet like capabilities. running on a 56K modem. What are you going to do for the technology back then? But it was the first game we actually could play with your friends.
It was a step forward.
It was the first mobile system also because it had those power packs that you could take with you.
Oh yeah, the big friggin'
Remember those little
the memory
Tamagotchi
card.
kind of deal.
I never had one of those.
The memory card actually could store characters onto a power pack, and you could walk around with it and play with it as its own individual thing.
Yeah.
So it had its. So I mean, everything that they do now, Dreamcast already did.
Yep.
In a lot of ways.
Don't forget, the episode of this is the downfall of Sega. We're just trying to glorify it.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the downfall of Sega. I just think I feel a lot of ways that Dreamcast was ahead of its time.
It was. I agree just because it had all these great mechanics and ideas. It just, like you said, was not executed in the best way it could have been executed. The thing with Nintendo is, and even to this day, it's always fan service. They don't do anything stupid. They always know what sells, what doesn't sell, how to get, and what to do. And I just feel like Dreamcast, you know, after, I think it was Sonic Adventure 2, like, no, am I right with that? No.
What?
Sonic Adventures.
What about it?
Like,
Was that the first 3D Sonic game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, full 3D, yeah, because they did have like they had Sonic 3D Blast, which I don't really count.
No.
Sonic R and Sonic Racing, which was on the Saturn, but they were just awful looking, ugly games.
Yeah.
Like instead of Sonic looking like a hedgehog, he looked like a block, like a pointy block running around on the screen.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
But like, I'm a huge fan of that game. Like everybody's like, you don't like Sonic Adventure 2? I'm like, okay.
Oh, I love Sonic Adventure 2.
I still like 1 over 2. I've played that game so many times. I love the story. I love the characters.
I love the music in that
I love
game.
the ending.
Yeah, with Chaos. Yeah. Just that big battle. Like I remember seeing the previews for that game where like it shows like Chaos. Like, you don't typically with video game trailers or like game intros, you don't show the final boss till the end, and they threw him right out the gate. It starts up, the city gets flooded, and then this water creature comes out, and I'm like, I want to fight that.
Yeah.
That better just not be like a new thing. Just I want to fight that thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it had so much potential to like really keep the Dreamcast going, but it just wasn't enough.
See, and that's where I think the downfall is. Because listen to what we're talking about right now. We're talking about Sonic. About how great Sonic Adventure 1 was, how great Sonic Adventure 2 was. What else was there in the Dreamcast?
Power Stone and a lot of arcade games.
But Sega was known with Sonic. Sega and Sonic go hand in hand.
But Sega was also known for bringing arcade games to the home. For Mortal Kombat, they did it.
Yeah. Yes.
For all these
with
these
the blood,
games,
yeah.
They were able to bring the console to home.
But then they lost all of that. Mortal Kombat went to PlayStation, you know, and they went to Xbox and started to experiment with that, you know. They lost all these precious things they used to have. And the thing with Mario, with Nintendo, is they have Mario. They also have Donkey Kong. They also have Kirby. They have Legend of Zelda
they have
series.
Thousands of characters.
They have Kid Icarus, you know. Even like Samus from Metroid, you know. They have all these different things, you know. So it's like, oh, there's no Mario game this year? Nope, there will be a Zelda game. Oh, there's no Zelda game? Guess what? Kirby's coming out. Oh, Yoshi's Year. Here comes Yoshi's Woolly World.
Yeah.
But they had all these different things. But once Dreamcast didn't have a Sonic game and a working Sonic game.
It did have a number of games which I'm a fan of, but like Shenmue. Shenmue was on Dreamcast. It also had, like you guys said, it had Crazy Taxi.
See, but I think we're talking about franchise titles, franchise building titles, franchise building characters.
Nothing really. It had Seaman, that weird looking frog game.
But then again, the same argument can be made for Sony. Sony didn't really have any franchise building characters.
They had Crash.
They had Crash, but how long did that last? How long did Parappa the Rapper last? Tomb Raider has been taken out from underneath them. How long did that really last? You know, nobody's really had franchise building characters like Nintendo has.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why they're able to stick around in the game, is because they have franchise building characters. They could, like I said, they could sell 1 million mugs with Mario's face on it. They don't need to have a console. They could just sell mugs and have Mario's faces on it, and they'll be able to do that. You know, Mario is paramount to Hello Kitty, and that no matter what, you understand what Mario is. What Mario is and what his face. Yeah,
Mario's?
you understand what Mario's. You understand what Mario is, and his face could sell 1 million shirts, by itself. and they were able to really craft that kind of brand identity through Mario, I should say.
Yeah, but then that brings the argument to, Sony didn't have it right away. You know, as time went on in PS2, they had, Ratchet and Clank, they had Kratos, Jak and Daxter, all these big
Solid
names.
Snake.
Solid Snake. They were identified with these,
All of whom never appeared in PlayStation All Stars. I just have to say.
Yes.
Just saying.
Best game.
Just saying.
No.
Just saying.
No.
I'm just saying. Just a thought.
Just a thought. But no, you come with these, and Sony had the business practice to look towards the future after PlayStation 1. But with Dreamcast, I feel is with just having Sonic and throwing all their eggs into that basket, also being able to burn the CDs and everything, not being able to get that money, because like I said, video games were expensive more at the time. For a good game, it was not this. Prices for games have never been as low as they are now, which
comparatively, yeah.
Yeah, it may surprise a lot of our fans, but now games are not expensive. I remember going to get Mario 64 and it was $90.
It was $80. An N64, yeah. Nintendo 64 cartridges back in the day were $80 each, guys.
Yep.
Deal that. You had to ask your parents to get you almost $100 game.
And it ends up being that if the game isn't good enough, there's Shenmue, I get that. Yeah, there's Sonic. Yeah, there's this. But if you don't have the library from previous things and you're losing all these valuable things, of course you're going to have a downfall. If tomorrow Xbox loses Master Chief and he starts to go to multi-platform and they lose Gears of War,
they're done.
Then Xbox will slowly go away. Yeah, it's got that hardcore base, but you know what? That hardcore base also is looking at other things. It's they want the best bang for their buck.
I was going to say, talking about franchise characters, I remember one specific commercial for Dreamcast. It's literally, I kid you not, they go inside the little red icon in the Dreamcast, and it's all the different characters that they have for the console, But if all these different guys are dancing around, they're having a party, whatever, and Sonic's on the DJ booth.
Oh,
and he starts spinning.
I remember this. Yeah.
Sonic, man, let out the light speed. And it was the basketball player from NBA 2K, whatever. And I remember looking at all those characters, and I'm like, I don't know any of these guys except for the pink-haired girl from Jet Set Radio Future and Sonic. That's it. Everybody else, I was like, who the fuck are these guys?
Yeah.
But
that's the thing. I saw a poster a couple years back. A PlayStation poster, and this was before the PS4, and it just had all these characters. I'm looking, I was like, oh, there's Solid Snake, there's Nathan Drake, there's Sly Cooper, there's Ratchet and Clank, oh, there's Sackboy, oh, there's the girl from Heavenly Sword, identical characters.
Yeah, identifiable characters.
And I feel the downfall of Sega was
they didn't have those.
They didn't have those, and they put it all on Sonic, and after a while, they're like, okay, we have to put out Sonic games, and the Sonic games started to become crap.
Yeah. And they didn't get to be real crap until they got off the Genesis.
Yeah, well, that's when they when they really became crap. But
that's Friday.
Sonic Adventures and Sonic Adventures 2, back in the day, which is also surprising to many folks, bad camera angles. There was a lot of games for bad camera angles, and Sonic had that,
Yeah.
And it was frustrating to deal with. People were giving up on Devil May Cry because of the bad camera angles.
Yeah.
And if it
I
wasn't,
fucking love that game.
If it wasn't for
it had some terrible.
Yeah.
camera
It did,
angles.
but I still wanted to beat it to the end.
And then they came out with Devil May Cry 3, and they worked within the camera system. And I think maybe one time I lost sight of Dante. I go around a pole, but they didn't take the time to give you a genuinely Sonic game. With Nintendo, even if they didn't have anything else, they take their time with Mario games.
Sunshine.
You
Sorry.
really can't name a bad Mario game.
Yeah, I can name a couple, but
for the most part, they're still not. They don't. People.
You get your money's.
Get your money's worth.
Well, like I said, you can put Mario's face on anything; it'll sell.
Exactly,
But
you
that
can't
doesn't
say
mean that the game is good.
What's interesting about this conversation is we keep harking on the Dreamcast, yet you think about it, the Master System didn't sell well, the Genesis did well, the 3DX didn't do well, what was it, the CD didn't do well, the Saturn barely sold anything. The Dreamcast was their last shot in the dark.
Yeah.
So you think about it, they had a rough track
They
history.
had a rough track on and everything. Honestly, why are we even talking about these people?
I like Sega.
Oh, no, I love Sega. Like the thing was that if I had to choose between Sega or Nintendo and Sega, I would have always chose Sega growing up.
Yeah.
Personally, I would have always chose Sega. Like Sega was my PlayStation at the time until PlayStation came out, and then Sega was no more. Now I think that might have also been the issue with the two dominating spheres was that Nintendo and Sega were the two competing races, and then all of a sudden Sony came in, and everybody was like, "Ooh, what's that?"
Yeah.
And you had Resident Evil, and you had Devil May Cry, and you had Parappa the Rapper, you had Metal Gear, you had all these kind of really deep, entrancing games, and everybody was like, "Yeah, fuck Sega."
Yeah,
Sega.
Sega kind of got.
And everybody was like, "Yeah, I want to see what this PlayStation is all about."
And then the Saturn got released, and everybody's like, "Sorry, you nope.
Yeah,
Sorry, you're number 3. You're not number 2 anymore. Sorry."
That's the thing that worries me also, not to get too off topic, but Nintendo. We had this conversation last week on the show. The Wii U only sold 11 million copies. That's terrible. Absolutely terrible.
It was bound to be terrible.
But like at least what I'm hoping for is obviously they have to put all their time and energy into the NX. But they still have those characters. They're not shitting the bed. They're doing stuff that's smart, like the handheld market, going into mobile.
That's not smart. That's desperation.
But it's also the 3DS is sold 26 million copies.
Yeah, they're not desperate for money, but they're desperate for attention. So when they shifted to the mobile market, they're like, "Oh, we got to get our name on every mobile device so people remember our name." Because not everybody's playing around with the 3DS.
Nobody's gonna forget Nintendo.
Well,
you're kidding me.
If
you ask somebody,
if Nintendo goes the way that Sega did in a couple of generations, nobody's gonna remember that Nintendo had a console.
If you jinx Nintendo on that, I'm gonna stab you.
I already told you Nintendo's consoles are dead.
They're not.
They are. Nintendo's consoles. They don't need the Nintendo console. That's why they don't pay attention to the Nintendo console.
Fine, but you know what the truth is gonna happen? Nintendo's gonna survive. Mark my words, it's gonna survive. Xbox is gonna die. I admit, Xbox is gonna die. Microsoft's gonna go off there do their own thing, and it's gonna be back to the old PlayStation Nintendo rivalry one more time.
No.
Yes.
PC is gonna make a reemergence.
Fuck PC.
And
Yeah, I
then-
said it, bro.
It will.
and then
Fuck
Sega
PC,
Genesis
bro.
will come back into the fold and
PC
push
is
everybody
going
out
to
of the
make
way.
a reemergence because these consoles now are on par with PCs. So now you can actually compete with a PC, and PC will make a reemergence, and you will see PC gaming. And that's what Windows is going to do. It's going to shift its focus from Xbox to PC gaming, and that's where they're going to reemerge.
Yeah.
And then it's a multi-purpose, so more bang for more buck, for less buck. That's why PC is going to make a reemergence. Consoles are going to exist, and Sony is going to be the last one left after everything is said and done. Once the dust settles, it'll be a Sony console versus a PC.
No.
Yes.
No.
Absolutely.
You heard it here first.
Once the dust, 10 years. I'll give it 10 years. It'll be a Sony console versus a PC. It will not be...
I'll be long dead by then.
Nintendo won't be in it. 10 years. It'll be a Sony console versus a PC.
I'll still be long dead by then.
Mind you, Sony makes computers.
Yeah.
So they're not really losing any money either way, if and or buts about it. So it's going to be a Sony console versus a PC.
Welcome to this week's episode of Improv Game. Nick just died randomly. You don't know why and who was doing this editing. You got questions for me to ask.
We're looking for a new host.
No, I mean, the problem, the thing is, besides a splash screen that appears in front of a few games once in a while, nobody knows who Sega is. They don't. They have no idea who
You're
Sega
right,
is.
because you don't think of the name Sega all that comes to mind. You think of Sonic.
Yeah.
It's literally all that's left.
Yeah, but that's all that's left. You know, and people that play the Mario Sonic Olympics probably don't even know where Sonic comes from. They probably think he comes from the Wii.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. He comes from long before the Wii. Very
Mario's
long
distant
before
cousin.
Who became an anthropomorphic hedgehog.
You know, there's a reason why he's in Smash and Olympics is because he's a Mario rival.
But that made me, I'm not gonna lie, when for Brawl they announced Sonic, I was fucking hyped. I'm like, that's fucking awesome. We finally get Sonic in a fighting game.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you can actually master him in Smash Bros., you're a god, because he is such a pain in the ass. Sorry, Dan. But
That's the downfall of Sega, I think.
that sucks. I wish they'd
bombed.
stayed around, but wait till tomorrow where we're gonna talk about let's see. Friday, sorry. How can Sega improve Sonic is the big question. Can he be saved?
Can Sonic be saved? If we clap hard enough, will he come back? Like Tinkerbell.
Yep.
I'm not gonna clap.
You're an asshole. But
I hate you.
like I said, we'll see you on Friday to wrap up Sega Week, guys. Game on.
My turn. My turn.
Yeah.